it was unlisted, so it wasn't actually public. So I do apologise for that. Oh my goodness. Interruptions, but I am live, so please do join the stream. Please do join us. Please join in the discussion. I want to talk about some things today that I think are quite important, and so I have got a good schedule of things that I have to do. And so I'm trying to ensure that we can complete today's program. King, as soon as I'm finished live, I will call you back. King, as soon as you watch, hi Syrup TV, I will call you back, King, as soon as I finish this. Yeah, how's life? Life is great. Life is wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah, life is fantastic. And so I wanted to welcome you to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome to BlaXit. I'm your host, Nyancho Kajabi. And like I said, King, I will definitely get back to you as soon as I finished my live, okay? I do have a document with you. But I just, like I said, I've got family over from the UK, so I've been busy this afternoon. Anyway, I've got a little bit of a fresh cold from messing about too close to the sea in the evening. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm Nyancho Kajabi, also known as Juliet. I'm the founder of BlaXit. So welcome. Please stay with us. Today we're going to have a packed live. I want to discuss some topics that are close to my heart. And for everybody that's celebrating Black History Month, let me just put the comments on. Super chat, member chat, welcome. And of course, all super chat and anybody that would love to help the channel, go ahead, and chats will also be there as well. So there you go. So yeah, welcome Seraphic TV, welcome to everybody that's here on the chat. Please give me a thumbs up. Don't have any thumbs up just yet. If you could please let me know you can hear me and see me, so we can do that all important check-in. You can hear me and see me. Everybody, if you're new to the channel, this channel is broadcasting from the Gambia, that's in West Africa. I was born in the UK, and I've repatriated to Africa, and this channel is all about repatriation, your return back to the motherland. Thank you so much. Your return back to the motherland, your ability to come into freedom, your ability to come where you can feel at ease. And this is what this program is about. What the channel is about really is about our journey and sharing those experiences that we have here. Also sharing the experiences of other diasporans who have done just the same, set up their businesses or moved to Africa. But I mean, I couldn't do this without you. So firstly, let me say thank you for joining me. Thank you. And to let you know that I'm sending you nothing but love vibrations. This is a love, high frequency love channel. That's what we deal with, okay? High frequency love vibration. Okay, so sorry if you can hear me, if you can tune in and watch the live, you'll know that I'm actually live. I do lives most Thursdays at 8 o'clock. Last week I did a different kind of thing. I actually did a program. It was about being in the dark, about so many aspects about Africa. I was just trying to be a bit creative, to be honest with you, and I just felt like I wanted to actually show what it's like to be in the dark and only to be hearing what someone's saying but not seeing. And that's what happens in Africa when you don't come. When you don't come, you've only got like someone's opinion of it, or maybe someone online's opinion of it, but you can't actually see it yourself. And so you're in the dark. And until you really come here and you embrace the journey, you are still kept in the dark. So you won't know that you have like another opportunity, you have another choice, even to live somewhere else and to, live in an environment that's peaceful for you. So I think that I'm going to ask, can you stop calling for a minute, please? Because you're interrupting my show, or else, basically that's what it's about. But I want to also talk about Black History Month. Happy Black History Month to everybody that's celebrating it in the US. Let me know where you are in the comments. Let me give you a shout out. So please go into the comments and let me know who you are, who I'm talking to, where you are, so I can give you a shout out, that all important shout out. Okay, so like I said, this program is about, you know, our repatriation, our relocation. And one of the things I want to talk about is not getting stuck. Don't get stuck. That's what this program is really about, is don't get stuck. But I want to talk about something else, which is about Black History Month, how important I think it is. And why I think it's important, that it shouldn't just be about us learning about Africa, but it's also supposed to be in Africa about them learning about us as well, which I think is really, really cool. I'm really sorry to keep having to put my finger in, but I've told the person that I'm live and that I will call them back, but they keep insisting on calling me. So can you please wait until after my live and then I will call you back. Please have patience and understanding. It's respectful as well, that we understand each other and wait on each other and respect each other's time. So what I was about to say to you is that, yes, it's very, very important. Okay, I will get back to you on that, Queen Mermaid. Right? Okay. So basically, I keep getting distracted. But yeah, I want to talk about that. I want to actually bring someone who's in Parliament onto the show to discuss that. Because there's someone in Parliament and I want them to discuss the developments. They understand it better than I do. And so that's where we're at with the citizenship situation. It's been left in the hands of the lawmakers. And so that's where we're at this stage. And so it has to go through its transition. And so the person that's going to discuss that, I'm hoping will be Mr. Saho, who you've had on BlaXit before. So I'm hoping that he'll be joining us. Obviously, he's got a really busy schedule as a parliamentarian. So I'm hoping that he'll be joining us and we'll be answering that. So I want to talk about Black History Month and how important it is in terms of us sharing that information with our children and explaining to them that, you know, we wasn't born out of just the epoch of slavery. I think that is so, so important, that we had a rich, 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 rich history. And Africa is a continent made of so many different and diverse countries, and each country has its culture, it has its language, and there are also similarities between the countries also. But I need for us to really share about Africa, and also to share about the civil rights movement, also to share about Windrush in the UK, also to share about, you know, Nat Turner and the Maroons, also to share about, you know, all of our historic heroes from Trinidad and Tobago, and also to share about our historians from the Caribbean. Thank you so much, Diamond. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I just want to say that it's an important initiative, but it needs to be embraced. It needs to be embraced in Africa as well. So we need to have like an African History Month, which includes us of the diaspora here as well, because often enough, like, we're unable to, you know, sometimes it's almost like there's an amnesia across Africa about who we are and our history. So it's like there's an amnesia across Africa about our history. And can I ask you to just wait for me, please? 1 second. Let me just... Okay, so I'm going to ask you just to wait until I finish my show, please, Mr. King. So I'm really sorry, fam. I keep having to touch the screen to decline this call. I think I know what to do, actually. I'm just going to disable my WhatsApp for a minute. Give me 1 second, please. I'm really sorry. Let me just deal with this. I think the only thing I can do is uh, let me see if I can get some help on this. 1 second. So Ubuntu family tuning in from Alabama, US. Becky, okay. Greetings from New Jersey, Sir Stephen. Greetings from New Jersey, Sir Stephen Adu. From New Jersey. And then we've got SK Lauren. Greetings, BlaXit family. Can you hear that phone? I just want to know if you can hear the phone ringing. If you can't, I'll just continue and leave it to ring. Hello? Everybody, if you can hear the phone ringing. Okay, I think it stopped for a moment. I finished my live. Right, so let me get back on track. I'm so sorry. You can hear it. I'm sorry, let me just do this. I'm just going to have to block a call for a moment. Just give me 1 second. I'm really sorry. So sorry. You can hear the phone ringing. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I did ask the person to wait, but it seems as though they couldn't. So anyway, just for now anyway, we'll continue. How do you stop the sound on WhatsApp from coming through to your phone when you're actually doing a live? This man is intending to me, and I said to him I'll speak to him after my live. It's not life or death situation. So anyway, let's get on with it. Yeah, don't get stuck is what I wanted to say. I've got my notes and I'm going to stay on program. It's like, like sometimes I feel like a karmic energy and I just want to ground myself. So I just want to ground myself for a minute, yeah? Thank you, Queen Mermaid. I'm glad you heard the phone, yeah? How are you? Big fan from, you just subscribed. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm just going to ground myself and move back into my holistic energy of love vibration. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Chloe Mansell, and thank you, Neffy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to get back into my centered energy. As you know, before that I had nosebleed, so I wasn't able to do that live. So I do apologize to everybody for not making that live. But, I want to talk about the importance of us all having that education. And that education being not just here in America, where you do great Black history programs. I've got to give it and take my hat off to you. UK, great Black history programs, and also across Europe as well. But we also need to imbue this. Hi, Neffy. Hello, good day, BlaXit. I missed you, watching you from Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much. Thank you, yeah. And like I was saying, so one of the things, thank you, Caroline, watching from Canada. Wow, thank you so much. Yeah, and thank you for joining BlaXit. One of the things that I wanted to say is that I think it's important that we have that cross mixture, because sometimes, here in Africa, people have forgotten. It's like there's a great amnesia, and in some places, I'm not saying all, okay, but I'm not saying in all places, but in some places, it's almost as though there's an amnesia of what happened when their ancestors were taken, and that we are the people returning. And the reason why I say there's an amnesia is because of the fact that we haven't been, I don't think, as well received as we should have been, considering, since Kwame Nkrumah and all of these people in all of these years, and the renaissance that was had about Pan-Africanism, it's taken an awful long time. What is the AU doing? Okay, and so, I think that there's a lot of progress that needs to be made about this. And so we do need to have, you know, a diaspora program that is also in Africa. So they learn about us, they learn about our civil rights, they learn about all of the fights that we had, they learn about the rebellions that we also had, not just here in Africa, but also what we had to do to fight for our rights. You know, the sacrifices that we have made, the lives that have been lost, and the terrible, terrible experiences that we have been through. You know, as a part of, you know, my family were first gen moving to the UK. And like I talk about the experiences of my grandma. And, you know, yes, King Leopold's letter, exactly, well done. I wish you could share parts of it in the comment section so people could read. You know, unapologetic, don't care. Destroy our life, destroy our continent, and don't care. Take what they want and don't care. But this is our continent and we have to care. So it's for us to say, look, we need for the amnesia to go away. And the only way that amnesia can go away is if we do the remembrance. Yeah? If we do the remembrance of our, if you like, disconnection from the motherland and make it a priority. As you've shown, I've shown on the channel recently what happened in Badagry in Nigeria. I've also shown about what's been happening in Ghana, and also shared information about Sierra Leone as well. As you know, I went to Sierra Leone and I also went to Guinea-Bissau. So shalom, I'm glad I caught you live. I lost your contact info, skippers need to. Okay, no problem, will do. Just send me an email, info@blaxithome.com, yeah? Send me an email, info@blaxithome.com, and I can deal with that offline, okay? Honor thy ancestors, exactly, exactly. And so we shouldn't be forgotten. We shouldn't be forgotten. And so, you know, when we come back, they ought to know who we are. They ought to know that, you know, we are the ancestors. We are, our forebears. We are the children of our forebears, of our ancestors returning. I agree with you, Queen Mermaid. Okay, we need to be remembered here on the continent. Sometimes it's like they treat you as though you're a foreigner. You know, and when I mean that you're a foreigner, as though you didn't originate here. And so, you know, this is something that can only be fixed with education, so people know that our origins are also a different route, R-U-T-E, okay? So I just want to, you know, say that, you know, big up to everybody for the Black History Month in the UK, keep it alive. You know, it should just be a month, it should be all year round. And also big up everybody in the US and what you're doing and your Black History programs, because you're educating the youth about Africa, about their history, about the civil rights fight that we had, you know, about Jim Crow, about, you know, what we went through and what we had to go through, about segregation. Yeah? And so, yeah, I'll definitely talk to him after the show, okay? No problems. I'm going to talk to him after the show. Just allow me to do my live. I just find it a little bit hard to do it while the phone's ringing. I did say I would call you back after the live, directly after the live. I have a document to share with him, but like I said, I had family over from the UK, so you also need to understand that I have a life also, yeah? And I do want to help, and we'll go through the process, okay? Oh my goodness. So I do apologize. It's like I'm so in demand today. My phone just doesn't stop ringing. And I don't know what to do to stop it. Usually people don't call me during my lives because everybody knows that I go live between 8 to 9 o'clock on a Thursday evening. So, the messages don't get stuck. Okay, I've been speaking to a lot of people who have either purchased land or they've, you know, started the transition, but they found themselves stuck. So they're coming to Africa, they've decided that they're coming, they've purchased their plot of land, you know, they're looking at divesting their investments in England, but then they get stuck. They get stuck in a cycle of stress or debt. Some people, you know, the stress is so much, it causes them to drink. And then they get stuck in like a karmic cycle of addiction. Or using drugs, soft drugs, hard drugs, what have you. And I have got something that I wanted to say about that. And I'm going to speak to the street pharmacists for a minute. I was watching a comedy by Ali Siddiqui. So big yourself up, Ali Siddiqui. He's very honest about his life. And he did a comedy show called Losses, which was talking about his losses in life. And when I listened to it, there was a part of it that I was just like, what? This man, you know, he was doing stuff, you know, stuff that was not good for his community, I admit, was not good for his community. And he was doing stuff that, you know, he admits was not good for his community, okay, as a street pharmacist. And he basically, you know, had imbued so much money, yeah, thank you so much, Nefi, yeah, and had accumulated so much money in this time. He was like, you know, the walk-in Don Dada sort of thing, and had just was spending money willy-nilly. Anyway, he told a story. If you've never watched him, watch Ali Siddiqui and his comedy. He talked about how he, you know, at one point, he like went into, I think it was like one of those sports shops, and said that everybody can have whatever they want because he had so much money. And he spent this money, and in the end, in the program, I think he mentioned he spent $90,000 on buying people footwear. Now, I know that everyone needs shoes, but this money went right back into Europe, right back into European hands. This money, what he put his life everything that he put his life on the risk for, yeah. No, my phone takes a long time to charge, so it was on in the morning, but I turned it off in the afternoon because I knew I had the live, so I had to charge so that I could do the live without being connected to wires. You're wondering, so it's not been off all day. It was on this morning until about 1 o'clock. Then I turned it off to charge it, and then I put it back on this afternoon. So at about 6. So anyway, just in case you were wondering. So like I said, so this 90,000 that he had, that he spent on trainers, I was thinking, you know, imagine if that was invested back into Africa, he would have that land and that investment today. So anyway, he got caught, you know, by the feds and had to serve, and it was given a 15-year sentence, you know, and his mother lost his sister as well, who passed away. She got sick and she passed away, and the other sister went into the armed forces or the Navy, something like that. So this mother lost like 3 children. Do you understand? But what I got from it was that all of this like money was like not invested wisely. There was like no long-term investment, and that could have been, if the mindset was different, and the black, you know, he was like African-centered and focused. Do you see what I'm saying? Like on a legacy, and knew about Africa, which is what we should do. You know, he would have had something when he came out. You know, when I listened to another comedian, oh gosh, his name's gone out of my head, but he also came to Africa and he spoke about it. If you remember his name, come back to me. Bald head, nice guy. Hi, Patricia Matthews, long time. Blessings from Brooklyn, New York. How you doing? Yeah? Exactly, Nefi. That's exactly where he went back. So, you know, a lot of these street pharmacists are going and spending stuff on designer stuff, which is putting the money right back in the hands of the people that's controlling them. It makes no sense. Dave Chappelle, thank you. Thank you. Yeah? And he invested in Africa. Yeah. Hi, Sinajalo. Greetings, Nyancho Kajabi. Thank you so much. Yeah. He invested. Thank you, darling. Great to see you too. Mwah. Yeah. Kisses to you all. As you know, this is Love Vibration BlaXit. Yeah. BlaXit is all about that love vibration, bringing you back the black exit from the West back to the best. That's Africa. Okay. And so, you know, we get stuck in negative karmic cycles. And it's because we don't know about the great vision that is here, what is in Africa, and the great things that are there. You understand? It was a terrible waste and lack of vision. Yeah? Watching you from Italy. Thank you, darling. Yeah? So what I'm saying to you is that it's almost like I'm going to try and send through King Leopold documents and letter for anyone who wants to read. Yeah, sure, share it, please. Share it, and I'll share it on the community page. Yeah, share it, please do. Yeah? Yeah, everybody's good. Everybody's good. So it's like we get caught in debt. And then we get caught because obviously we're raising our children, we've got our elderly family, and then we have health issues. And I don't know if you've noticed, yeah, but a lot of people are suffering from rashes, a lot of people are suffering from joint pain, a lot of people are suffering from some really weird ailments recently. Having spoken to a lot of people, like this is like in Europe especially, are suffering from these ailments. And I'm wondering, is it a new kind of illness like? Because so many people are suffering from the same kind of ailments. But, you know, very, very strange. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that, you know, the message is about investing in Africa has to be something that we all share. It has to be something that we all deal with, that we all invest in. And that includes when we do our Black History Month programs, that we show people, look, you know, you can come to BlaXit, right? And if you want to be shown, I'm glad to show you. Like I said, I've done it. You know, I'm here. I've built my home and I'm living here. And I'm doing my thing, you know? I do my rabba and I do my educational thing and I do my community thing and I try to do my best thing and be of service to my community. So it's like, it's really important that maybe we start, you know, looking at our reinvestment. I'm not talking about, I don't want anyone to come say, oh, look, Juliet's encouraging people to go and launder money. No, I'm not. What I am saying is that, you know, was he going to launder money when he went and paid it in Foot Locker or whatever? You understand? What I'm saying is that we need to be wise where we invest, because when we put money back there, it doesn't really benefit us in the long term. We're actually paying them to oppress us. We're putting money back into the system that oppresses us. How does that make any sense? You know, Black History Month gives us a chance to educate ourselves about ourselves without having to, you know, go to their narratives. Because it's like a continuous trauma. And it's like we're trauma bonded. Yeah? Sorry, the messages are moving so fast, yeah? Right? We're so trauma bonded. Okay? It affects our relationships. We have bad relationships. And I'm not just talking about love relationships. I'm talking about, you know, connective relationships, community relationships, you know, relationships between each other because of trauma. And this trauma is there. But, you know, one of the reasons why I came here was to heal, you know. And people can say to me, oh, but, you know, Juliet, look at your life. Yeah, exactly. But I know that, you know, not every journey is for life. Some journey is a long stop. Some journey is a small stop. But it was a journey. It was a lesson. It was a blessing. Whichever way, I learned from it. And I think that's the benefit. You learn from heartbreak, and you learn if I wake up in the morning and I'm here, I'm just so thankful. I tell you what, I every day I give thanks. For the smallest little thing to the largest little thing, I give thanks. Because I'm just glad I got out. Yeah? Yeah? No, I have it. Well, my brother has it. Please, Jack, if you wouldn't mind just waiting for me to finish the live, I will send it to you. Yeah? My brother has it, so I have to get it from him because he's the one that collected it for me today. Okay, so after I finished, I definitely will. Okay, so I was saying, you know, don't hold yourself back, because sometimes we hold ourselves back because we think, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And it seems insurmountable, but it's not. It's not. It's just like one baby step at a time, you know. And the baby step is actually going, finding a way to get out and go, you know. Someone sent me a link to this thing where they're supposed to give you money online. Now, I didn't buy into it because I wasn't sure about it. Yeah. So, I don't know what it's talking about. Anyway, I'm going to start asking Seth to moderate the messages, because it's just like, I don't know what's going on. 1 second. So I was saying that, sorry, 1 second, I'm so sorry. I just need to, Seth usually helps me to do the moderation. And so if you want me to show your business, I'll quite happily talk about it, Jack. Yeah, I don't think you do. Because there's no issues here at all. Yeah. We are talking about inspiring action, but this is not the time or the place. I wish you'd respect. You know, one of the things, I'm going to talk to black men right now, yeah, about honoring your divine feminine, okay? Honoring your divine feminine. There's a lot of black men out there that have lost respect for the divine feminine. They're no longer divine masculines, they're karmic. Yeah? They've gone to their low vibrational self. We must learn to respect and honor each other. It's very important. Okay? As soon as I'm finished, I think I'm just going to have to block you from this. I'm so sorry. But I'm going to have to block you for now, and we'll talk afterwards, okay? Because, like, this is not the way we treat each other, okay? Okay? And if you want me to tell the story, I will, because I've got nothing to hide. I've done nothing absolutely wrong. Oops. Sorry, hon. I just have to do this. Give me 1 second, because someone's being... Cool. So, this is what we'll do from now on. So, yeah. I'm saying that, you know, we all have a role to play. You might not be able to go to Africa, okay? You might not be able to go to Africa. But you can still educate people about Africa. You don't necessarily have to go. I'm really sorry about today's show and the interruptions. I want to apologize to you all, yeah? I want to apologize to you all, because for me, if someone says to me, oh, hang on a sec, I do just that. I have no issues with it. I respect your wishes. And I think it's important that we all have boundaries and we respect each other's boundaries. And so, like I said, it's not even a very big issue. It's something that can be sorted out, and the information that's needed is with someone who's not here. So I can't share it at the moment because it's with my brother, and he's not on the compound. I just called out, but he's not here. So when he's here, then I'll get that information. Okay, and send it to you as promised. I did send it before, but you asked me to adapt it and to resend it. So let's talking about being specific, yeah? And I'm going to bring my energy in again, positive energy. I'm going to bring positive energy back in again. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. And recenter myself, okay? Okay, so if you send it to me, Chloe, I will read it. Okay, if you send it to me, even put it in a comment, cut and paste it into a comment, and I will read it, because it's important that we do remember, because some of us have amnesia. You know, we've got what would you call it, multiculturalitis. So you know, we've also got amnesia. Multiculturalitis gives you amnesia sometimes, to the extent that, you know, you think, oh gosh, yeah, I got my reparations. So when was that? You understand? When was that? Yeah. Okay. Let me do a Google search on this for you, because she wants me to read it. So, and you know, you ask, I serve. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's Google King Leopold's letter. I do remember actually reading it before, being appalled by it. Just bear with me. I'll log back in. So yeah, I'm saying, don't hold yourself back. We are all plagued with these things, whether it's bad relationships, whether it's continuous trauma, whether it's ill health, you know, whether it's getting in a negative karmic cycle of addictive or bad behavior, you know, whether it's drinking, whether it's, you know, abuse, spousal abuse even. You know, you can set yourself free by, you know, changing that cycle. You can change that cycle. You don't have to stick in a cycle with an abusive partner. You can choose to leave it. Do you see what I mean? Some men think when, you know, your relationship or your marriage is over, that when they leave their children. No, they don't. They have a responsibility to their children. And, you know, this is something that I don't understand. When you were in the relationship, you were supposed to, you acknowledge that you had a child. But as soon as the relationship is over, you forget that you've got a child. You know, this is not good. And this applies to men and women, because women abandon their children too. And men also abandon their children too. And this is not good. And they don't want to support their children. They don't want to financially support their children. They have a responsibility to do it. You know, it's very, very important. You know? And so, hang on. Sorry, I've Googled it. Let's see why it's not coming up. Okay, wow. Small writing. No glasses. Letter from Leopold. Is it the 1831 one? I just want clarification, because there's a few versions here. Or is it the 1891? So give me some clarification, because there's one also to the Christian missionaries as well. So, actually, I must confess, I'm so much happier. Patricia, I know exactly what you mean, without the stress, you know, oh my gosh, without the stress. So, just so you know that I will get back to you after the program, as I said I would. So you don't need to comment here, it's all right, okay? Nothing Christian about Leopold. Okay. Yes. Like I said, I'm into unity, I'm into black love, I love it. But I'm into respect. And I think respect has to be foremost. Do you understand? And not hurting the children. I think that's important. Because like from my own circumstances, I can talk about, you know, how disappointed I am, you know, with my son Caffrey. Not disappointed in him, but in his dad's decision to abandon him. That's very hurtful to me. But that's life, you know, we move on. We move on. And so I want to know which letter it is. Okay, I'll go back to this one. We'll just, oh gosh, this is on Facebook. I don't have Facebook on this phone. Let's have a look at this one. Okay, so I'm going to read this one. I hope this is the right one, and I hope I can see it, because like The writing's really small. And it says, letter from King Leopold of II of Belgium to colonial missionaries 1833. Patricia, you're dropping some wisdom. Yeah. Reverends, fathers, their compatriots. The task that's given is to fulfill is very delicate and requires much tact. You will go certainly to evangelize, but your evangelization must inspire, above all, Belgian interests. Your principal objective in our mission in the Congo is never to teach. Never to teach. Okay? The N words, to know God, they know already. They speak and submit to Mungu, one Nazimbi and one Nkazomba, and what else I don't know. They know that to kill, to sleep with someone else's wife, to lie, to insult is bad. Have courage to admit it. You're not going to teach them what they already know. Your essential role is to facilitate the task of administrators and industrials, which means you will go to interpret the gospel in the way it will be best to protect your interests in that part of the world. For these things, you have to keep watch on disinteresting our savages from the riches that is plenty in their underground. To avoid that, they get interested in it and make you murderous. Competition and dream one day to overthrow you. That wasn't written so well. Oops. Sorry. That wasn't written so well, so sorry, the stand's gone. I'm trying to get the stand back in place. Oh gosh. I think I broke it. It doesn't matter. We'll get there eventually. So get interested in it and make you murderous. Yeah, competition and dream one day to overthrow you. Your knowledge of the gospel will allow you to find texts ordering and encouraging your followers to love poverty. Oh, love poverty. Who loves poverty? Sorry. Like happier are the poor because they will inherit heaven. And listen, my riches right here. I'm good for that. I will manifest it all day long. I'll take it here, thanks. Yeah, it's very difficult for the rich to enter the kingdom of... Oh my gosh, this is really long. Okay, you have to detach from them and make them disrespect everything that gives you courage to affront us. So basically what they're saying is that do not educate, do not teach them about themselves, yeah? To love wealth and to tell them that their beliefs are fetish and are bad and are devil worship, basically, is what they're saying. So they walk away from their own traditions, they walk away from their own people, they walk away from their own culture. This is basically what it's saying in a nutshell, and abandon everything, yeah, just to believe in the way. So your action will be directly essentially to the younger ones. So they're targeting the young ones. This is what it says. And they won't revolt when the recommendation of the priest is contradictory to their parents' teaching. So what they're saying is they put in someone who can overpower the role of the parent so that they can contradict their parents, yeah, and not listen to their parents. So they'll see them as a higher force over their parent, which in effect is what is actually happening in schools today. I mean, when you think about it, you can't even take your child on holiday without them saying, oh, I will take you to court, or, you know, you have to ask the permission, and if it's declined or if it's not approved, you can't take them. So in effect, who's in control of the movements of your child or the education of your child? Because your education of your child is not just in school. Do you understand? The education of your child is not just in school. You have an obligation to teach your children at home. Fathers and mothers. I'm not letting anyone off the hook. And, you know, absent fathers, when you're absent from your child's life, you're an absent teacher of your child, and it's your job to educate yourself so that you can educate your child. Mothers, when you're absent from your children's life, it's your job to educate yourself so you can educate your children. So we all have an obligation to learn, and we all have to teach. Of course they want to extort. Of course they want to extort everything from Africa. Yeah, knowledge starts in here. Knowledge starts at home. And so, who is the father of their soul must singly insist on their total submission and obedience. Obedience to who? For what? Why? Why should I be obedient to someone who's oppressing me? Why should I be obedient to someone who's cutting off our limbs of our children, cutting off the hands and feet of the parents, tying them to rubber trees and whipping them till their death? Why should we be obedient to these people? Why? And in fact, why are we still obedient to these people? Ask yourself that. So is this letter still working on us? Because we're still disrespecting each other. And that's what they want us to do. They want us to have no regard for each other. They want us to go into relationships where, sorry to say it, where we disrespect each other, we lie on each other, we're dishonest to each other, we cheat on each other, we disgrace one another, and even have same-sex relationships behind on the DL, behind each other's backs and stuff like that. This is what's happening in our communities right here, right now. Bringing diseases into the family home. Because they set the seed of disrespect and discontent by taking this role of the overseer, of taking this role of some kind of an all-seeing power. But they're not. The power exists within you. The power exists within you. And we have the right to control our own destiny. We have the right to control our own destiny. A book's not going to control me. I read a book, I learn from a book, I take what I can from that book, I move on to another book. But I'm not going to get stuck in a book where I'm going to be bubbles studying this book for the whole rest of my life. No, there's a whole library. Why am I just stuck in one book? So, they put that education into our schools to, if you like, circumvent and minimize what we learn. Yeah? Circumvent and minimize what we learn. And having respect for one another is like the best and biggest lesson that we can learn, because I think there's too much disrespect among our community. Too much. It's like, are we being raised or are we being dragged up? And I'm not talking about, this kind of discipline where you put children in fear. No, because this is what they want. They want us to be in fear. We have no reason to be in fear. Fear of what? Why? Why should you fear death when death doesn't really even exist? Is this a transition? It's a control, like you said, Chloe. It's absolutely control. Sorry about the sniffles, yeah. I'm just drinking honey and lemon. I've just, like I said, contracted a bit of a cold. Yeah, children need boundaries and not abuse. Children need to be spoken to. And they need to also have the opportunity to speak back to you. They need to have a conversation. You know how many children are so wise? My own children, I got to take it on to them. I learned so much from them. I still am learning from my children. My son comes home and, our son comes home and he tells me, about things that I never knew about. So, but if I didn't have that conversation with him, I wouldn't learn. And so what I'm saying to you is that, each one teach one, and that includes our children. We can't discount them as nobodies. When, in African-centered society, the children were the center of our society. The children were the center of our society. We cherished them because they were coming directly from source. Okay, we loved them. We didn't abuse them and treat them like, you know, a second tire or a spare tire because we got to go to work, and we treat them like nuisances because, you know, they've made us all about the treadmill, all about the rat race, all about work, 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 work. And everything that you do is driving around making money, going to work, making money, going to work. You know, and then the children kind of get raised in after school clubs. I should know, I've been there. I'm talking from my heart. You know, after school clubs, breakfast clubs, because, you know, you want to pay off this mortgage, because you want to keep your head above water, because you want to buy food, because you want to buy clothes, because you want that all-important holiday to Africa. You understand? And we all have to do what we have to do to go. Like I said, not everybody can come to Africa, but it doesn't mean that you can't teach. They're not only people that can preach. We can preach too. We can preach. Yeah, we have a role and responsibility. Puna, yeah, right, exactly. We must exit. We must exit. But we have to learn to work with one another. We have to work with one another. Yes, you're BlaXit in the UK, well done. Yeah, we have to learn to work with one another. And that means respecting one another and understanding one another. And asking questions as opposed to jumping to conclusions. Yeah? Giving each other time. You know, all of these new things that are coming in that I'm seeing. Working in relationships that, you know, are unhealthy. Ghosting. Breadcrumbing. You know, oh come on. All these kinds of manipulation tactics that were taught to us by our oppressors were using against each other. What do you mean ghosting? Communicate. Why are you not communicating? You know, apologize if you've done something wrong. If you stop communication with someone, that person's going to stop communicating with you too. You understand? But if that person's communicating, respect that communication. Even if you don't agree with it. You say, okay, you know, that's your opinion. You know, I have mine, but we can agree to disagree. I learned something new here today. And work with each other in peace. There's too much warring in our communities, too much warring in our families, too much war in our community, full stop. And I'm seeing it heightened. I'm seeing it heightened. You know, we are divine beings. As divine beings, that's not how we conduct ourselves. You can live a wholesome, clean, and good life. Yeah? You can. And we don't have to listen to what they're saying. He says, listen to what he says, okay? The children have to learn to obey what the missionary recommends. Okay? So when they were coming and abusing our children in missionary schools in Africa, which they did, they did so much abuse and sexual abuse and child trafficking, and they still do it. You know, I remember reading articles about, you know, so-called nuns and bodies being found of children and so on and so forth in Africa right here today. You know? And so what I'm saying to you is that we have to learn from the past in order to have a better future. Because if we don't learn from the past, how's our future going to be any different to what it is now? You know? How can you make the enemy your friend? How can a European tell you how to run your country? How can a European tell you the best way to run your parliament when it don't even work for them? It don't even work for them. If it worked for them, why would these countries be in debt to China and other countries? Wouldn't their economies be self-sufficient and totally independent? No, they give you their system so you can get addicted to debt, to the IMF and to the World Bank. That's what they're doing, because they're just making you dependent, and it's the same system that they used here in the old day that they're using now. And so, you know, because they want total submission and obedience. I say louder. Louder. You can keep your submission and you can keep your obedience. I'll be obedient to myself and to my people. Yeah? I will be I will submit for my ancestors, okay? And I'll be obedient for myself, because I know the difference between right and wrong without you having to tell me the difference between right and wrong. Yeah? And it said avoid them developing their spirit in schools. Teach students, to read and not to reason. And that is what they want to teach us. They want to teach us not to reason, not to question. Question everything. Okay? Reason everything. I remember when I was small, yeah, I used to ask so many questions. I had such an inquisitive mind that it really used to annoy my parents sometimes. I just wanted to know about everything. How is that made? So how does that go? Where does that go? What is this? Why is that? Yeah? And, you know, to a degree, like, I want their patience, I admit, yeah? And sometimes I didn't get answers. Sometimes I did. But I would still ask, yeah? Okay, you left UK over 30 years ago with no regrets, I'm glad. Homeland on the continent. Absolutely. So, what they're trying to say, yeah, is that while they keep on teaching us, we will stay this N-word forever. That's what they're saying. We will never revolt, you know, and we'll be happy weeping, because we're only looking for things, you know, when after we die. I'm not looking for nothing like then. I mean, right now, you have to get what you have to get now, okay? You have to get now. Do what I do, and why I'm doing what I do is because you have to get what you have to get now, okay? Because tomorrow's not promised. Today is the present, and that's your gift, okay? Not to say you can't plan, because of course you can plan. Okay, of course you can plan. Thank you so much, Chloe. You're a good teacher. I listened to your interview and watched ages ago, but only subscribed from day one. I would love to come to meet you and learn from you and in touch your ancestors again. Absolutely, absolutely. It'll be lovely to meet you too, Chloe. So, you know, drop me an email, info@blaxithome.com. And let's make that link. That's what it's all about. It's us making that connection. Divine masculine and divine feminine. I'm talking to you right now. Yeah? We are the divine collective. Never let anyone take your divinity away from you. Okay? Never. We can be upstanding. They gave us alcohol. We don't have to drink it. They gave us drugs. We don't have to take it. Okay? They gave us their garden hose, yeah? We don't have to be with them. We don't have to involve ourselves in that low vibrational behavior. They gave us their obscenities and their disgusting behavior and their perversions. We don't have to participate. And the more we get centered in our wholeness and we cleanse ourselves and we cleanse our energy and we start to educate ourselves about ourselves, the stronger we will be, the better we will be for ourselves. Do you understand? And we have to be accountable for our own actions. We have to take responsibility. We have to be accountable to ourselves. And we also have to forgive ourselves. You know? Release that, burn that, release that, burn that, release that, burn that. Let's not be burdened. Let's be light when we come to Africa. Let's be light. Let's leave them with their hate. Because we can educate ourselves. We've got our own teachers now. We always had. We had the first university. We are the original teachers. We are the original traders. We are the original merchants. We are the original rich people. Don't ever let them get it twisted. Yeah? We are the original royalty. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Tune into your intuition, Chloe. Exactly. That's what we have it for. You know, tune in. Let your spirit be your guide. You don't need them to be your guide. You have your own guide. And it's inside you. You already have it. And it will guide you home it's like you already have your GPS. So yeah, let that be your GPS, because we have an inbuilt GPS. That GPS is what sent me back to Africa. It's that GPS that helped me to accomplish what I needed to accomplish to bring me back. It's that GPS that said to me, help other people. Be a guide, help other people, do things to help other people. Do you understand? You know, in fact, like recently there was a piece of land which I'm selling, and it's a nice big piece of land, okay? And I said, looking for land, you know, do get in contact with me. I'm always willing to help. We have some beautiful plots in a coastal village which is by the sea in Gunjur. Beautiful, beautiful plots. Yeah, some large plots, and also some plots in Sifo as well. Okay, and there's also 40 by 20 in Bussorah as well, but multiple plots of different sizes in Gunjur. Okay, and that's where the newest city is being built. That's where the biggest eco drive is. But in Bussorah, you have the largest diasporan settlement thus far. Okay, in the Gambia, which is 565 plots, which is the BlaXit Kabilo. Okay, BlaXit Kabilo. And so Bussorah is a fast developing area. Okay, so yeah, you can build whatever you want as long as you get permission, you know. And so basically what I'm saying is that, so this plot, so I said, yeah, you can pay. But anyway, we had a few issues with regards to the payment going through to the bank. So that's what I was trying to sort out. So, and I'm still in that process, and I will still be available to help in that process. Okay, just so that whoever's having any issues, I'm more than happy to help after my live. So I was saying that Africa is a healing journey, and I want to reiterate that. You have to throw away so much of what you learn. It's almost like rubbish. It's like so much rubbish comes out of your head. So much rubbish. It's like you literally have to dump it out, like literally, because you know what they've sorry, I'm sitting on my dress. What they've basically guided us to, you know, is that they almost made us feel as though we're not worthy. You are worthy. Let me tell you this: you are worthy, and we are worthy. They've almost, you know, used this brainwashing, this Leopold letter to make us feel like second-class citizens. No, we're first-class citizens. Trust you and me. If you want to know how many white people are here, how much Europeans are here in Africa, oh my gosh. Okay, why are they here? And why aren't they telling you that they're here? Okay, because you need to be here to see it, to see what they're doing. Okay, and they come and sorry about that, it was slight interference. One of the most valuable assets, and they know it. The most valuable assets, one of the most valuable assets, land. And remember, when they buy the land, they also sign for what's in the land. And Africa is a very rich land. Even here in Gunjur, we found iron, just, you know, it is just amazing. You know, it's so natural. It has so many natural resources, let alone the food that you can grow. And you know, this is one of the bananas from, you know, from my garden. You know, yes, it's so naturally abundant. So don't let them fool you. You see what I mean? Don't let them tell you that you can't return and there's nothing to return to. You're going to a barren land. No such thing. Okay, do the research. There's so much to find out about Africa. Africa is so abundant. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And if you come from the Caribbean, you will understand. Because when I came to Gambia, it reminded me of Jamaica so much. Wodemai's been in Jamaica. I've been communicating with him via WhatsApp. And I shared with him some ideas of places that I thought would be nice for him to visit, and actually he did. Actually, I saw that he went to some of them, so I'm really happy that he's there. They also said that convert them, yeah, using the whip. Now, a lot of our parents use the whip on us. This is the Leopold letter. Convert them, you know, using the whip. You know, I don't know how many of you remember, like, I don't know how many of you got whooped as a child by your parents. And, you know, bend the rod or spare the rod or something about that, and the child or what have you. Yeah? Yeah, he is, isn't he? I said that. I told him that. He gave me goosebumps. And in fact, I wanted to send it to Dr. Julia Scarvey. I meant to send a picture to Dr. Julia Scarvey and I forgot to show him the resemblance between him and Marcus Garvey. And it just goes to show, doesn't it? It just goes to show the connections that we all have. And so, thank you for that comment, Patricia. Yeah? They gave us fear, so they whipped fear into us by beating us. And so our parents went on and then whipped that same fear into us, so we can now break the cycle with our children. We don't have to be violent to our children in order to get them to understand or to learn. We can teach them that, you know, how powerful they are. We can teach them about their gifts. We can teach them about alternative things that we weren't taught. You know, whether it's psychic gifts, whether it's, you know, telekinesis. You know, these things can be taught. You know, alternative sciences. These things can be taught. Alternative arts. These things can be taught. Agriculture. Science of money. Science of trading. Hey, Willie, how are you, hon? Yeah, when are you coming to the Gambia? In case anyone takes my comment out of context. Yeah, we can be taught. Yeah, but we have to be a healed people, but we need to be loyal to each other. We need to be loyal, and this is something that I'm sensing that we're losing, that loyalty. You know, like when our parents first came from the Caribbean, a lot of them grouped together, did tenement yard, did so on, and worked together in order to make that money, to make that basic wealth, you know, like my nan did and so on, yeah? And, you know, clubbed together to make houses and to build, you know, wealth and to amass finances together. But, you know, that was done through loyalty, that was done through respect, that was done through trust. And what they've done is they've done a psyop on us. So now we don't trust each other. We're not loyal to each other. We don't respect each other. We're not even loyal to our own children. You know, your child's birthday comes, you don't even, you know, you don't even call that child to say happy birthday. You know, this is something that has a fundamental impact on that child's self-worth and value. It's not about putting it on social media. It's about having that relationship with your child. You know? And so I just, you know, think that there's so much. There's so much. And we're always, it's like we've become our own ops. We've become our own ops. I mean, I've experienced it. You know, I experienced it. I you know, to a degree, I can say I'm experiencing it today. We become our own ops. You know? We become our own opposition. And that's what they want. That's what they want. Yeah? They don't want you to think, let alone overthink. They don't want you to challenge. They don't want you to question. They just want you to follow. They just want you to comply in their system. And that's why African history, I'm going to come all the way back round to what I was saying. Yeah? I'm going to end the live in a few minutes. I'm just saying that they want us to come all the way around, yeah, to not knowing ourselves, to forgetting their traditions, forgetting their values, forgetting their mores. But we owe it to ourselves to be that embodiment and to be our own historians, to be our own teachers. We have to break the cycle. Because almost like now, it's almost like karmic, karmic against divine beings. Karmic against divine beings. Do you see what I mean? And that's almost what it's like. And the attack is relentless. Believe you me, the attack is relentless. And we have to learn to balance things out because, karmic people don't want to change. They're quite happy to, marry outside of their race and disrespect their race, turn their back on their race. And then you have the karmics that are within the race that disrespect the race, distress the race, break down the race, sell drugs to their own race, and do everything to destroy their own race, destroy the women in their own race by, having multiple partners and disrespecting all of those partners, sharing all kinds of diseases, sexually transmitted diseases within their race, not caring, just using and abusing. This is for men and women. I'm not discriminating, because you have your Jezebels, you have your Jezebels, and you also have your your what I call your F boys, or your F men. So this stand, I want to get a new one. But anyway, I'm going to fix this, but I'm going to go. I'm just going to go and just leave it by saying that we have a responsibility. I just want to say this: we do have a responsibility to the next generation, whether we like it or we don't like it. I'm sorry about the instability of this program. I do sorry about all the constant interruptions. They were unnecessary, totally unnecessary. And like I said, we all have to respect each other's time. We all have to respect each other's space, each other's boundaries, and learn to love each other more. I think that's the fundamental thing, is to learn to love each other more. Okay, I know I said some things that some people, thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Caroline. I know I said some things that might have hit or triggered some people. It wasn't intentional, but it has to be said. We abuse each other. We abuse our own family members. We abuse strangers who we don't even know that well. We abuse friends. We abuse, partners. There's too much abuse in our community. Too much. I'm just saying it. And the reason why is because they set it up that way. That's what this letter's for. You understand? This is what this letter's for. If we treat each other well, then that's exactly it. Thank you so much. I wish that comment could come back up again so I could read it. If we could, honor each other, love each other, be kind to one another, the world would be such a great place. I mean, for me, if my neighbours ain't eating, I'm not eating. If I have a bag of rice, I give them some. And there's nothing wrong with that. Today I had a bag of biscuits, so I went out and gave them to the children. They were just like these these like homemade kind of homemade cookie biscuits, and I actually like them myself. But anyway, rather than eat them, I gave them out. And I think, sharing and caring, it's not a bad thing. Don't take kindness for weakness. Being kind is a heartfelt a heartfelt gesture. And because you're kind doesn't mean that you're weak. Because you're loving doesn't mean that you're not strong. Because you're thoughtful and empathetic doesn't mean that people can take you for granted or take advantage of you. Okay? So let's not get that twisted. And we don't have to wear a mask. That's one of the good things I like about being here in Africa, is that I can be my authentic self. Whether you like me or you don't like me, I'm not here to seek someone's acceptance. I'm not here to say, okay, I'm here to be a people pleaser and I'm begging for you to love me or like me. No, I'm just here to, speak the truth that I feel. to speak that truth that I feel. I might not have millions and millions of subscribers, but if there's one person, I'll talk. If one person listens, I will talk. I remember once when I went to go and see this guy in England, and what's his name? David Icke. I was in England, and I had a friend Rachel on about him saying that he thinks really futuristically. So I thought, okay, he's European, but I'll go along. If there's knowledge, I'll listen to it. And so they bought me a ticket, so I went. And when I went, he did drop some knowledge. I'm not going to lie, he did drop some pearls, yeah. And one of the things that he said is that when he first started, he could fit his audience, into a phone box, an old red phone box, which is like maybe one person. So even if there's one person here, I'll talk. I'll speak my truth. When I did an interview with Rhoda Meyer, I didn't know so many millions of people were going to watch it. I just spoke my truth. When I said England is a dump, that's how I felt. When I talked about, getting out and you're not living, it's because it's how I felt. Hi Fiona, hi Medico, yeah, it's how I felt. When I said about, the water being unsanitary, it's because it's the truth. It's, reused toilet water, put through a system. Everybody knows that. Yeah? Reservoirs and cleaning systems. Yeah? I'm looking forward to my journey to the continent. I can't wait for you to come, Pacina. And thank you, Medico. Yeah? And, everybody knows about the cleaning system and how it actually works. Yeah? And if you don't, it's really wise to go and have a look. And, get yourself a reverse osmosis system on your water, because that's what I did. I didn't drink the tap water. I had a reverse osmosis system to cleanse the water. I didn't trust it. And so, like I said, in closing, and just to summarize everything that I said, don't get stuck, okay? Don't get stuck where you feel like you have no options. Africa is a choice that you have, okay? You do have options. And if we start to love each other more, work with each other more, capitalize on the opportunities that are here in Africa more, like I gave the example of Ali Siddiqui, he's very funny, you should go and watch him. I gave the example of Ali Siddiqui and, spending that money when that could have been invested here. The things that he could have done here for Africa is just crazy. He could have done so much benefit. So I missed your last comment. I'm sorry for that. Can you put it back on for me? So I was just saying, that, bad relationships happen. It doesn't matter where you are, okay? Trauma is continuous. And, we don't have to be in a situation where we have to continue that trauma cycle or that trauma bond. Because I believe that when you're in Europe and when you're in America, we're actually trauma bonded. We're trauma bonded to our oppressors because we're the ones giving the money every day. We're feeding the hand that beats us, literally. They give you some, but they keep most of it. When you think about it, they give you some, so you think, oh yeah, you got no. But like Ali Siddiqui, he might have been getting this, but who do you think is getting the big, the 9 million? You might have been talking about 90,000, but who's getting the 9 million? It's certainly not you. And so, we have to start to build for self, do for self. Yeah, Jiri Sawanga, hi Han, sister, I'm from Uganda, but I love everything that comes from the lessons that you give every time. Oh, missed it. Can you reach out to me? info@BlaXit, .com. That's so no, I said it wrong, sorry. It's info@BlaXit Home, HOME, BlaXit.com. Okay, so reach out to me, please reach out to me, okay? But accept the abundance that the earth has to offer you, and it's in abundance. Okay? It's in abundance, and don't hold yourself back, okay? Just don't get stuck. That's what I just wanted to tell you, that Africa is part of your healing journey.